You know, when it comes to cybersecurity, the whole game has totally changed. It's not about building taller walls anymore. It's about realizing that the biggest threats can come from trusted partners who already have a key to the front door. So today, we're going to dive into the 2025 threat landscape, a world where your biggest vulnerability might just be someone you trust.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get a handle on the sheer scale of the threat we're facing. Then we'll unpack this domino effect attack that's causing so much damage and see how it's playing out all over the globe. After that, we'll get into how companies actually build digital trust. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the new rules you have to know to stay safe.
All right, so let's jump right in. To really get what's happening, we first need to understand where we are right now. And honestly, the picture it paints is, well, it's pretty alarming. I mean, just look at this data from Japan. In 2025, security incidents didn't just go up, they went through the roof. And look, this isn't just a little blip on a chart. This is a huge signal that we're dealing with a new normal, where the baseline level of threats is higher and more constant than anything we've ever seen before. So what's behind all this? Well, when you dig into the numbers, one thing becomes crystal clear: ransomware. Last year, in 2025, these attacks just exploded, hitting the highest levels we have ever seen. We're not just talking a small increase. We're talking about a record-shattering number of attackers literally holding critical data hostage.
Okay, so what's pouring gasoline on this fire? Well, a massive game changer is how attackers are now using generative AI as a weapon. You know those fake phishing emails trying to steal your info? AI is now writing them to be basically perfect. The grammar's flawless, they know the context of your job or your life. It's getting so good that it's almost impossible for a regular person to spot the fake.
But wait, how does one sneaky, perfectly written email cause a massive, record-breaking disaster? That's where this next idea comes in, what we're calling the domino effect attack.
This is the classic supply chain attack. And the idea behind it is actually pretty simple, but man, is it devastating. Think about it. Instead of trying to smash down the front door of a huge, secure company, why not go after one of their trusted partners? You know, a smaller supplier or a contractor who has a key to the building. If their security is weaker, you just steal their key and voila, you walk right in.
And this is basically the attacker's playbook, step by step. Step 1, they hunt for the weakest link in the supply chain. Step 2, they break into that partner's system. That's the easy part. Then step 3 is the pivot. They use that partner's trusted access to just waltz right into the real target. And by the time the main company even knows what's happening, the bad guys are already inside having a field day. And make no mistake, this isn't just happening in one place or to one type of company. This has become a truly global problem, a threat without borders.
And the targets? They're getting scarier and scarier. We're talking about local governments in the UK getting completely crippled, huge e-commerce sites in the EU being taken offline, even our critical public infrastructure is now in the crosshairs. So this isn't just some corporate headache anymore. This stuff affects the essential services we all count on every single day.
And if you look at the data from around the world, what's the most common way these guys get in? What's that first domino to fall? It's still phishing. Yep, and that's why those super smart AI emails we talked about are such a huge deal. They're basically the master key that's being used to unlock this entire domino chain.
Okay, so the threat is huge. It's smart, it's scary. What in the world are organizations supposed to do about it? How can any company prove to their partners, and frankly, to all of us, that they're not going to be that weak link? Well, it all boils down to one thing: building digital trust you can actually verify.
And there are two big ways they do this. I love this analogy. Think of it as the rulebook versus the report card. ISO 27001, that's the rulebook. It's this global standard that basically says, here's how you should run your security. It's the plan. Then you have SOC 2. That's the report card. An outside auditor comes in and gives you a grade on how well you're actually following your own rules. So one is what you say you'll do, and the other is the proof that you're doing it.
And this is so important. Getting these certifications isn't just some formality. It's not about ticking a box to get a shiny badge for your website. In the world we live in now, it's about giving real, tangible proof of control. It's how you look your partners in the eye and say, don't worry, we won't be your weakest link.
All right, let's pull all of this together. After looking at this whole 2025 threat landscape, what are the big takeaways? What are the new rules of the game?
First, and this is the big one, your security is only as strong as your partners. You absolutely have to know who you're connected to. Second, those certifications, they're not just wallpaper. They're living, breathing proof of your defenses. Third, companies have got to start preparing for what we'd call disaster-level cyber attacks. I mean, the kind of thing that can take down a city's power grid. And finally, since the bad guys are using AI, our defense has to match. That means constant, relentless training for everyone to spot these new super scams.
So that leaves us all with one final question to think about. We live in this crazy world of digital dominoes, right? Everything is connected, and one tiny push in the wrong place can bring the whole thing crashing down. So you have to ask yourself, is your security and the security of everyone you trust strong enough to be the last domino left standing?